and welcome to my short sequence aimed at hip discomfort, or as I originally thought, hip ease, which didn't quite come off the tongue as easy without thinking of hippies. So we're going to call it hip discomfort. So we're going to start supine on our mats, which is laying on our backs in Shavasana. Okay, so we're just going to get nice and comfortable on our mats. Palms facing up and feet falling open, and just close your eyes and just arrive in the room that you're in and on the mat that you're on. And just take a couple of moments, couple of breaths, just to slow everything down and just come into this moment. Remembering to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose where possible. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to begin by just bringing our right knee into our chest and keeping the left leg flat on the mat. And just putting that in as close as what's possible. So for some of you it may look like this, so then you'll take behind the thigh. For some of you it may be in front of the knee and pulling it right in. So whatever level you're at, that's absolutely fine. Just aiming to get into that pose is enough. And then just releasing the right leg and then just putting the left leg in. Again, same, whatever it looks like for you, just go with that. So we're just going to do 2 more on each side. And then release. And then last one. And then from here, if we do the forward pose, it's just hugging those knees into the chest. And then if you want to, just rolling out a little on the mat. If it feels better to stay still, then feel free to do that. If it feels more comfortable to have your head on the mat, then do that also. But if you can completely curl up and roll, then go with that. Okay, and then you're just going to turn onto your side. You just stay there for a couple of breaths. We're going to prepare to meet in seated on the mat. Okay, so just using that top arm to push you up into seated on your mats. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go into tabletop, and I'm just going to release those hips, wake them up a little bit. So from tabletop, and like I said, for balance, just keeping those hands, those fingers nice and wide on the mat. So just going to untuck those toes. So for hip circles, it is just basically as if you're going to go and sit on your knees, but keeping your hands where they are and just rolling all the way up. So if we can do 5 on the right side. Try not to rush them. Nice and slow, especially if you do have discomfort or pain in the hips. You don't want to rush, and don't push it either. If you can't go all the way down, then for some of you it might just look like this, and that's as far as you can go. So then just work with that and then just go back. So you can just go back there and then forward again if you can't go all the way round. So whatever works for you. And then we're just going to go, just to balance it out, down to the other side 5 times. And just skimming past the heels of your feet. Again, if for some of you that looks like part way and that's all you can go, and then just back to the front and then back again. Just attempting it is as good as actually completing it. Okay, so then back into tabletop. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start off with our right leg, and we're just going to bring it to meet your right elbow and then just back down again. And if you just do that again, right knee to right elbow, and then one more, right knee to right elbow. Now we're going to just try and advance that slightly. So we do your right knee to your left elbow. Okay, right knee, left elbow. And then one more, right knee, left elbow. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. So we're going to start with left knee, left elbow. Just 2 more of those. And then we're going to do the same again, left knee, right elbow. And again, if you can't reach the elbow, then just attempting to is just as good. Okay, so now we're going to come up into a forward fold. So for some of you, it might be that you can straighten your legs and touch the floor. For others, it may be that you need a nice deep bend in those knees, and your hands can be on the tops of your feet, they can be behind your legs or on the floor. So wherever that is for you, wherever is comfortable. And just relax the neck and just let your head hang for a few breaths. We'll go for 3 breaths here. In through the nose and out through the nose. And then you're just going to safely get yourself out of this position. So you're going to put your hands on your hips and then just gently come up. And do a mini back bend. So you might just lose a bit of my head here. That's fine. So keeping your feet grounded, mini back bend, and then just back to neutral spine. So now you're going to clasp your fists together like this, and we're going to do what we call sunflowers, which is a nice little move that I like. It should be really nice and soothing for the hips. If you feel pain or discomfort more than you already had at any point in the practice, then just stop. Okay, so clasping those fists, we're going to go up the right side first and down the left, and we're going to aim for 5 of these. Okay, so it's just up and then down the left side, and we're going to do 5 of those. And if you do need to make it slightly easier for yourself, you can put a slight bend in those knees, which will take some of the pressure off. If you can straighten the knees, great, but take some pressure off if you need to. It shouldn't be uncomfortable for you. So anything that makes it easier, then go for that. And then we're going to go back down the other side. And trying to connect the breath to the movements as well. So in through the nose and out through the nose if you can. And then just back up to standing like that. Now from our standing, we're going to just turn around and we're going to just make sure our feet are pointing outwards. We're going to take quite a wide stance here, and we're going to go in what we call a sumo pose. Depending on the level of discomfort you have in your hips will determine how low you can go. If you can go as low as you can, put a nice bend in those knees, keeping those toes pointing outwards. This will really help with a nice stretch both in the thighs and the buttocks. So if you have any pain that is connected also into the muscles in the buttocks as well, then this is a really good move for you. Okay, so then we're just going to add a little bit of pressure here into the stretch. We're just going to put our forearms on our thighs and just enjoy that stretch for a little while. So you can hang your head and relax the neck. We don't want any strain anywhere else in the body. And then just come up. And then we're just going to do one more move on each side. So you're going to straighten the left leg and then just sit down in that right side. So you can see I've just put my hands where it just naturally felt to go. And it's also keeping me up and it's keeping me balanced as well. So trying to keep a nice straight spine. And then just coming up to the middle, and then we're just going to straighten the opposite leg. Sit into that left buttock and really straighten that right leg out. And then just coming back up like that. So now we're just going to meet back on our mats. And we're going to do something now which is pigeon pose. Now to go straight into full pigeon pose, it is quite daunting and for some people quite hard. So I'll show you the full one first, and then I'm just going to retrace my steps a little bit and just add some modifications. So it might be quite handy to have a block or a pillow, cushion, or if you have one of those roller tubes, that might be handy too. So for the full pigeon pose, it's actually bringing your right knee up to the top of the mat between your hands, keeping those toes active, and then straightening that back leg out. And then you have the option then to either stay upright or just completely relaxing into the pose. And this is such a good stretch for especially the buttocks and also the hips. So if you are new to this or can't imagine yourself getting straight into that pose, that's absolutely fine. So if you start in tabletop and just bring your right leg just in front of you, just like that. So this is a good modification, then just straighten out that back leg if you can. So this is a good starting point, okay? If you in time feel like you can bring that leg further up, then that's good progress. So here you can use a block. So putting that block under that front leg, under that front knee, sorry, not front leg. Keeping a bend in that back leg and then just lowering down into that position. You should feel a nice stretch in the buttock, the thigh, and really nice for the hips also. And I'll just show you on the other side as well. So same thing goes, go from tabletop, it's always a good pose to go from. And then just putting that knee on the block, turning it to its side, and then you can either try and straighten out that back leg, or you can keep it closer to you with a bend. It's whatever you're feeling, but eventually you can take the block away and you will be able to do it. And then while you're on the block, if you can try and lower down, or if body doesn't allow, then just keeping up and just keeping a nice straight spine. So there are different modifications, but if you can try and eventually get into pigeon pose, it will be absolutely life-changing for the stretch that you will feel in the glutes and the hip. So I'll just show you again the full pigeon pose when you are, and you will get there. It might take some attempts, but you will get there. So just feeling that lovely stretch, and I'll just do it on the other side as well. So you can just see that stretch that you feel all along here. It's a really wonderful feeling, and it is well worth the trying and the modifications and the blocks, or whatever you chose as your support. Okay, so we are going to let supine on our mats now. Okay, so we're going to do something now that we call figure of four. So if we start by keeping our knees bent, feet on the mat, then we're going to take our right leg and just place it across the left. So it's like a figure of four, and just keep those toes activated, pointing towards the knee just to protect joints, okay? So we're going to take our hands, put them through the whole of our legs and just clasp the back of our left leg. And then if your body allows, just pull your legs into your chest. For some people it may be here that's enough. Some people that might be enough. But if you feel like you can and you want to progress in advance, just pulling in to your chest. And again, keeping those toes activated, which means pointing to the ceiling just to protect the knee joint. You should feel a lovely pull. And then just lowering back down to the mat, and then doing the same on the other side. Activated toes, clasping behind that leg, and if that looks like that for you, or that for you, just go with what your body will allow. And then just releasing the feet to the floor. Okay, so now we're going to do half happy baby. So we're going to lower our left leg, and we're going to take our right leg bent. We're going to take hold of our right foot, and then we're just going to pull on that foot just to try and open that hip. Okay, so if you feel any unpleasant discomfortness or pain, then just come out of it. Just come out of it and do some rocking like this. If you don't want to do the half happy baby at all, then this is an option, just to give it a miss and just give yourself a little rock on the mat. But if you are going with it, straighten that left leg, take that right foot and just pull out, so you're in control of how far you pull out that foot and that leg. Okay, so you can either do a gentle rock here, or you can stay still. And then just, as we always do, balancing everything out, so straightening that right leg and taking hold of that left foot. And again, how far or not far you go is completely up to you. Just enjoying that nice opening in the hip and the thigh. And again, staying still or moving. Just go with whatever your body feels. Okay, and then we're just going to go for that other way that I said for modified, if you didn't want to do the half happy baby, and just rock out your hips. Just go a few times on both sides, just to balance everything out. It's a really nice feeling. And then we're just going to go full Shavasana on the mat. Okay, and then we can just palms facing up, feet falling open. Close your eyes and just notice anywhere on your body that may feel a little bit different, somewhere that feels particularly worked. Do your hips feel a little bit looser? Do they feel a little bit better? Hopefully it won't feel worse. And then just enjoy nice breaths here, 3 breaths on the mat. In through the nose and out through the nose. And just thanking yourself for committing to this practice today. And then in your own time, no rush. You should never rush anything, especially if you're coming from supine to seated, because you can actually experience dizziness if you're going too fast. So listen to your body. Take it nice and slow. It's your practice, it's your time to just enjoy it. And then we're just going to enjoy sitting on our mat, rolling out anywhere you feel like needs rolling out. Hands to heart centre, nose to fingertips. Namaste.